Check.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. This is a statement by members of parliament on key national issues. We, 139 members of parliament, many are here, and a few have left for other engagements, met as legislators who champion a broad-based, people-centered and bottom-up empowerment of Kenyans to reflect on and examine the state of various developments of concern in our country. We have consulted widely and deliberated deeply on the way forward to restore reason and reasonableness to our politics and leadership, and to reaffirm a message of tolerance, inclusion, hope, and fraternity to the people of Kenya. We particularly note worrying emergent issues that threaten the stability, peace, cohesion, and integrity of our nation, and wish to lend our voices to them. These issues include the following. 1, state-instigated violence. We are deeply concerned with the escalation of political violence instigated by state agencies, and what looks like glorification of chaos and encouragement of a backward culture of political criminality. On our part, we will lead the way in ensuring that our political discourse is devoid of violence. We continue to propagate an ideology of principled engagement, peaceful coexistence, brotherhood, solidarity, and compassion. The evil scheme, which began with the targeted withdrawal of security of members of parliament, has now been extended to total withdrawal of official security coverage by police officers at meetings attended by the Deputy President. This is not only malicious discrimination, but it is also reckless dereliction of duty by the National Police Service and a grave threat to national security. We are aware that a special, officially sanctioned, underline that, officially sanctioned hit squad has been formed to perpetrate political violence as witnessed in Keno, Murang'a County, and Msambweni in Kwale, and that it has been tasked to cause violence at the Deputy President's functions that were held at the coast this last weekend. We understand that the squad's mission is to instigate targeted political violence, kidnap political leaders, and execute political assassinations. We shudder at the thought of Kenya going back to the ominous, dark era of political assassinations that characterized the late 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s. As a nation, we deliberately took a categorical historical decision to abandon that era of grief, terror, and mayhem, and declared that never again would we backslide. These developments, therefore, herald a horrific betrayal of Kenya and all Kenyans. As a civic duty, we have relayed this information to the relevant authorities with details that include the name of the squad commander and the specific identities of the officers involved. We demand that this illegal hit squad be disbanded immediately. We also demand that the Inspector General of Police takes charge and ensures that all officers deployed at political meetings, rallies, by-elections, and indeed all other electoral events are in official uniform and have their service numbers and names prominently displayed on their badges. We urge the international community, and here I will specifically reach out to our friends, the United States of America, the European Union countries, the United Kingdom, and also including the African Union and African nations and the United Nations, to turn its focus on Kenya and help this country avoid a precipitous descent into political meltdown as next year's elections draws near. It is because of many international allies who stood with Kenya in the past that we overcame colonization, dictatorship, and other forms of tyranny. We call upon them all once again, including the European Union, the USA, the United Kingdom, and all friends of Kenya, to stand watch and monitor our soaring political environment. Thank you.
Yes, we continue with the statement. Breakdown of the rule of law. The state is pushing the country towards the collapse of the rule of law and emasculation of oversight of institutions. Worrisomely, we are witnessing the return of detention without trial through the misuse of the police and the criminal justice system, where individuals are held without the benefit of a judicial hearing. The courts should not allow themselves to be intimidated and weaponized for political purposes by the political actors in privileged positions. They should stand firm and uphold their independent constitutional mandate to uphold the rule of law and protect human rights. We urge the Chief Justice and the entire Judicial Service Commission to address this worrying trend and safeguard the independence of judiciary.
We are concerned by the emergence of a deliberate policy to reintroduce ethnic mobilization and regional balkanization of our politics. This follows a perverse big tent political model where self-appointed ethnic chiefs are invited to dictate and also eat on behalf of their people. The tragedy of this model is that it makes ethnicity to be the focal point of politics, turning toxic ethnic contestation into the key feature of our democracy. For a long time, the country has yearned for an issue-based political discourse. The Hustler Nation's agenda and platform rest on such a pedestal. This is why we have consistently endeavored to shift national discourse from the retrogressive and divisive politics of tribe to a new conversation that is inclusive and focused on a bottom-up empowerment approach. It is the only way to meaningfully harness the dividend of democratic governance and realize the promise of shared prosperity. We intend to broaden the base of participation and contribution to nation building and extend the reach of our prosperity. We reaffirm our commitment to focus our political and intellectual energy to this issue-based conversation and shall continue to reject the invitation by our competitors to a narrow, selfish, and visionless agenda based on tribe, regions, and ethnic political kingpins. The Hustler Nation is about empowerment. It is not about power. It is about jobs, not about positions. It is about enterprise, not about entitlement. More importantly, it is a promise of creating possibilities that ensure that every dream stands a chance to become a reality. It is not a contest between the rich and the poor. Every one of us is a hustler in the sense that we've had to overcome so many challenges in life. In this country, so many people for so long are used to a top-down approach. We realize the agony of them trying to get used to a bottoms-up approach. Thank you.
I'll read the final part in English and then allow two of our colleagues to speak in Swahili. Oh yeah, there's a part. Let me speak about BBI and the referendum. As leaders, we are in touch with the people on a continuous basis and with their needs and aspirations. We reiterate our earlier position that constitutional changes are not a priority for the nation and a consensus building is the way forward, and that issues that we raised last time in this same venue needs to be addressed and build a one united Kenya where there will be no contest in the change that is anticipated in the Constitution. We remain, as a group, we remain committed and focused on the people's needs, and these include the revival of the economy, addressing the health of the people of Kenya vis-a-vis the COVID-19 epidemic, the education sector, including our children going back to school, the agriculture and other social challenges that face our people. Should the country be forced into a referendum, hypothetically I'm saying, then citizens should be provided with information on what is being changed, for what purpose, in whose benefit, and in accordance with the Bill of Rights and the constitutional provisions. Consequently, citizens, as guaranteed in the Bill of Rights, should be allowed to decide in an environment that is devoid of intimidation, blackmail, use of force, and above all, bribery. Consequently, it has been our position that citizens should be allowed a free choice to vote in a multi-choice referendum where each and everybody is allowed an opportunity to vote in favor of the clauses that benefit the nation as opposed to those clauses that they feel are beneficial to a few elitist political class or leaders that want to sustain both power and privilege in terms of resources for their own good. So we are saying, and we are telling the people of Kenya, that you go to the polls in the event we go to a referendum, and you make a choice based on your own decisions as a nation. So we're telling our competitors and those who are pushing the BBI agenda that if it is in the interest of the people of Kenya, in your opinion, why do you want to use intimidation? Why do you want to blackmail people? Why do you want to use force? Why do you want to detain people? Why do you want to bribe the MCS? Why do you want to use state organs? And I really want to finally urge the third arm of government, the judiciary. We are watching you as legislators, as the people of Kenya. You are the defender of the citizens when they become victims of the executive or the legislature. Thank you very much.
In conclusion on our agenda today, as a caucus, we agreed to focus our energies in championing of pro-people bills. And in particular, we looked at key parliamentary or legislative proposals that have been before the House or are before the House currently. And we looked at the agriculture sector, where we noted that the AFA Act that was passed in 2013 did a great disservice to the agricultural sector in this country, because what it did was to amalgamate all the boards of the various parastatals into one big institution called AFA, that has therefore meant that there hasn't been real focus and real attention being paid on key issues affecting various farmers in different areas. In particular, we saw the boards, we saw less focus on the tea board, coffee board, dairy board. All those boards need to now be separated so that we can be able to put more energy and more resources. So to this end, we will be pushing for the operationalization of the Tea Act that was passed last year in December. We will be looking at ensuring that the coffee bill, the proposed coffee bill, sugar bill, crops amendment bill that in particular looks at cashew nuts, coconut, and bixa. And we'll also be looking at Mira, which currently lacks legislation, and there's a problem of market linkages between the Mira farmers and the markets within the country and out of the country. We'll also be looking at livestock to ensure that there's proper legislation around livestock and market linkages of the same. And we will be looking at the nuts and oil bill that is being proposed so that we can be able especially to give more support to our farmers in coastal area, in particular those that are dealing with coconut, cashew nuts, and also macadamia across the country. So those are some of the things that we'll be looking at going forward. And we have also discussed the whole issue of unemployment. And you know that as members of parliament, we believe that it is time to start thinking about using a bottom-up approach in the policies that we make as a nation. And we know that many people are challenging what is this whole narrative that we have for the hustler nation. And they're saying it is time to place the issues that affect the people at the bottom pyramid of our country on the table and make sure we come up with policies and come up with legislation that will help improve this lot of people who are the majority in the country. That is what it means for us to push the narrative of the hustler. And so you're going to be seeing a lot of pro-hustler proposals and legislation coming before the House. We'll be looking at how we can create more employment for the people that are at the bottom pyramid. We'll be looking at how we can improve the skills of those people and ensure that they can earn a decent living going forward. So that will be the most important agenda for us, and you'll expect that we'll use our numerical strength to make this happen, because we have the numbers, as you can see, and we are asking the rest of the members of parliament to support us in this critical agenda. In conclusion, as leaders from diverse backgrounds, we reaffirm our commitment to pursuing the peaceful coexistence of all our people, building on our national unity, revitalizing the economy, and promoting a democratic culture of issue-based politics. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Asanteni sana. Sasa tuna taarifa ambayo tutaitoa kwa Kiswahili kwamba sisi ni viongozi ambao tuko katika mawazo mamoja ambayo tunafikiria kuboresha maisha ya Wakenya, na kwamba leo tumekutana hapa kuangalia mambo ambayo kwa sasa ni kama matatizo ambayo yanatukumba. Mwanzo, kwamba kuna njama fiche ambazo zinapangwa ili kuvuruga amani katika ile mikutano ambayo huu mrengo wetu tunaufanya. Ukiangalia kule Kilifi na Mombasa, wakati tulipokuwa na mikutano iliyopita wiki hii, kwamba hakukuwa na walinzi wa usalama wa kutosha wakati ule naibu wa rais akifanya mikutano. Na hii ni kwamba tunapata nafasi ya kwamba wale ambao wanataka kuvuruga amani katika ile mikutano wanapata nafasi ya kuingia pale. Ya pili, kwamba wajumbe wetu wengi sasa wamepokonywa wale walinzi wao, na kwamba hawa sasa wako katika hatari, na kwamba wale ambao wanapanga njama ya kuvuruga amani katika ile mkutano alafu baadaye waje walaumu wale wafuasi wa Hustler Nation, ndio wanapata nafasi kuingia pale. Kwa hiyo tunaambia Inspector General wa Police kwamba ni kazi yake ya kikatiba ya kutoa usalama katika mikutano yote ambayo naibu wa rais na hawa wabunge na viongozi ambao tuko nao katika mikutano yao. Hiyo ni kazi yake kikatiba na lazima aifanye kama vile katiba inasema. Asibague hawa wale. Manake katiba haikumwambia abague. Yeye lazima atoe usalama kwa kila mtu. Na hiyo sio tafadhali. La muhimu tena ni kwamba sisi kama jamii ya Hustler Nation, na vile tukiongea na watu wetu kule, tunasema kwamba hatutaki taifa la Kenya lirudi katika ile miaka ya 60 na 70 na 80. Kwamba hayo mambo yamepitwa na wakati. Demokrasia Kenya imeimarika. Kwa hiyo lazima taifa la Kenya liendelee mbele na amani, na hatutaki kurudi katika zile siku za nyuma za giza ambazo zilitatiza Wakenya wengi. Sasa tunapiga kusonga mbele, sio kurudi nyuma kama Wakenya. Kwa hiyo tunaambia tuone baji zao na tuone majina yao ili tujue hawa ni kina nani. Pia tunataka kuongezea kwamba kama taifa la Kenya na sisi kama viongozi, umaarufu wa Kenya ni bora zaidi kuliko umaarufu wa mtu mmoja, na kwamba sisi kama taifa lazima tukae kama jamii moja. Na pia tunaambia jamii ya kimataifa kwamba waangalie kwamba hii Kenya isirudi nyuma, na kwamba tusiwe na fujo kama zile tulizoziona zamani. Kwa hiyo tunaambia marafiki zetu wa kitaifa, wale wa kutoka kule Marekani, Umoja wa Kitaifa, African Union, kwamba waweke darubini zao katika hili taifa letu ili Kenya izidi kuwa na amani. Na hao ni marafiki, akufaye kwa dhiki ndiye rafiki. Nataka kuongea kuhusu utovu ama uvunjaji wa sheria hapa Kenya. Na nisikitiko kwamba serikali inaweza kujitumia ama kutumia maafisa wake ama vyombo vya usalama kuvunja sheria. Tumeona kwamba sasa watu wanawekwa vizuizini bila kupewa nafasi ya kujitetea katika taifa hili letu la Kenya. Na tunauliza mahakama kwamba isikubali kutumika mahakama kuvunja sheria, ama vyombo vya usalama vya kitaifa kama vile polisi wasikubali kutumiwa kuvunja sheria. Na pia tunaambia mahakama wasitumiwe kama vyombo vya kuharibu mambo ya siasa hapa Kenya. Tumeona watu wetu wengi wakipelekwa mahakamani sio kwa sababu wamevunja sheria, lakini kwa sababu wanataka kusukumwa huku na pale. Kwa hiyo tunaambia kwamba mahakama ikatae kutumiwa katika mambo ya kisiasa na isimame kulinda haki za binadamu na haki za Wakenya wote. Kwa hiyo tunawaomba sana mahakama wasimame na sheria na wasimame na ule mkataba ambao tuliwekeana Wakenya katika ile sheria kuu ya Kenya. Jambo ambalo ni muhimu tena ni kwamba tumeona formations za kikabila, kwamba sasa hii Kenya inagawanywa kwa mikabila, kabila hili, kabila ile, na hiyo sisi tunaona kwamba inaashiria mambo mabaya tukiingia katika uchaguzi wa 2022, kwamba ukabila isiwe ndio ngao ya kutafuta uongozi hapa katika hili taifa la Kenya. Na wale ambao wanatafuta ukabila kama nguzo yao ya kutafuta uongozi, tunawaombea washindwe katika jina la Yesu. Kwamba hili taifa la Kenya sasa sisi tunataka kumaliza mambo ya ukabila, tunataka kuangalia Mkenya kama Mkenya. Wakenya wale maskini ambao hawana nafasi wapewe nafasi ya kupanda juu, waendelee na maisha bora zaidi. Tumeona hapa Kenya watu walikuwa maskini wamepanda polepole mpaka wamefika pale, sasa wanaheshimika na wametoka katika uchochole. Lakini tukitumia mambo ya ukabila, tunatafuta nafasi kubwa za uongozi kwa watu kidogo na kuacha wale maelfu wa Kenya wakiwa pale chini. Kwa hiyo tunataka kusema kwamba sisi tunaona kwamba watu wote ni wa Kenya na sio watu wa kabila hili na wa kabila hili. Sisi tunataka kutoa watu katika umaskini na katika ule uchochole wapande pale juu, na hiyo ndio philosophy ya Hustler Nation. Na sisi tunasema kwamba Hustler Nation ni kwamba watu wawezeshwe, wale ambao wako chini wawezeshwe, wapande pale juu. Sio wale ambao wanatafuta mamlaka kwa kupitia wale wa chini alafu baadaye waje wawaache pale chini. Sisi tunasema kwamba ni wakati wa kila Mkenya kupata nafasi ya kuboresha maisha yake. Na hiyo ndio philosophy na hilo ndio maneno ambayo sisi tunataka kuambia Wakenya, kwamba kila Mkenya ambaye yuko katika hili taifa ako na nafasi ya kupanda kutoka pale yuko apande juu na endelee na maisha. Sio kutengeza mamlaka na kupatia mamlaka watu kidogo ukifikiria kwamba umebadilisha taifa. Kwa hiyo nikimalizia, nataka kusema kwamba mambo ya BBI na referendum, priority ya Wakenya sasa ni kuboresha maisha yao, sio mambo ya BBI. Na kwamba Wakenya wako na mambo mengi muhimu zaidi ya kuangalia: kukuza uchumi wao, kuhakikisha kwamba taifa linaenda vizuri, kuhakikisha kwamba mambo ya COVID tunapigana nayo na kupigana na umaskini, sio kuhusu mambo ya BBI. Lakini hata kama watalazimisha kwamba watu waangalie mambo ya BBI, tunasema kwamba Wakenya wapewe nafasi ya kujisomea wenyewe hii BBI, wajue ni nini ambacho watapigia kura katika ile BBI. Na pia kusema kwamba tunataka hayo maoni ya BBI yaorodheshwe na kila Mkenya apewe nafasi ya kuchagua lile analotaka, apige tiki ile ambayo anataka, ile ambayo hataki apige wrong, ili kila Mkenya awe na nafasi. Yale ambayo hayataki, yale ambayo hakubaliani nayo, aachane nayo. Yule anakubaliana nayo, abebe, tuende mbele kama taifa la Kenya. Kwa hiyo tunasema kwamba Wakenya wawezeshwe. Kama BBI lazima ipite, na vile tunaona watu wanalazimisha, basi wapewe nafasi ya kujichagulia yale wanataka na yale ambayo wanayakataa. Nikimalizia, nataka kusema kwamba kama viongozi ambao tumetoka katika fikra moja na fikra ambazo zinafikiria kupeleka Wakenya mbele, sisi tunataka amani katika hili taifa la Kenya. Taifa la Kenya kunawiri, na taifa la Kenya kujengeka, lazima kuwe na amani na kila mtu apatiwe nafasi ya kuenjoy demokrasia ya ambayo iko katika hili taifa la Kenya. Nataka nimalizie hapo, niseme asante. Wale ambao wana maswali, nafikiria kuna watu watajibu. Haya, sawa, wacha nimwache 001 amalize maneno.
We also discuss the unfortunate utterances from one Junet Mohammed, bordering on incitement and hate speech against a person with disability. And these have been a trend, and we know and we have witnessed in our neighboring countries. Such trends, when they start, then persons with disabilities are sacrificed for witchcraft and sorcery. And it cannot be a coincidence that we have lost one Christopher Nderito just last week through a road accident by a GK car, and yet the police spokesperson denied knowledge of that GK car. Yet we know every GK car have a work permit that show who is in the car and where is the car going to and who is the driver. We have also lost a girl with cerebral palsy, 12 years old, in Isiolo, called Nimo Nabale, after being raped and killed and body mutilated. So we have also discussed the issue of persons with disabilities, and we condemn such utterances from leaders. Thank you.
Nataka kumalizia kuhusu miswada ambayo inakuja katika bunge. Okay. You ready? What? Oh, tunataka kumalizia kuhusu miswada ambayo inakuja katika bunge la kitaifa. Oh, they're saying they don't have sound. What happened? Oh, okay. Sort. Sound sawa bado? Nani huyo? Gani? Huyo. Sauti mmepata? Bado? Bado. Mic check. Bado sound. Wow. Sawa, haya sawa. Tunataka kuongea kuhusu miswada ambayo iko mbele ya bunge kwa sasa, miswada ambayo ni muhimu kwa Wakenya, ambayo sisi tunataka kupatia kipaumbele bunge likifunguliwa, na kwamba hawa wabunge ambao wako hapa watapatia support hii miswada. Mwanzo kuna ile T Act ambayo kwa sasa ilitiwa sahihi, na tunaomba serikali kwa sasa ihakikishe kwamba wamefanyia operationalization ya T Act kwa haraka sana, ili wale wakulima wa chai wapate manufaa ya ule mswada ambao ulipita pale bunge. Vile vile kuhusu mambo ya kahawa, mswada uko pale bunge kuhusu mambo ya kahawa, na sisi kwa nia moja tumesema kwamba tutahakikisha kwamba huu mswada ukifika bunge utapita kwa haraka iwezekanavyo, ili wakulima wa kahawa waweze kupata manufaa. Kuna mswada ambao unakuja wa Crops Amendment Bill ambao unahusisha mambo ya biksa, mambo ya korosho na mambo ya minazi ambayo ni mimea ya pale pwani. Na tumekubaliana kwa kauli moja kwamba huu mswada ukifika bunge tutaupigia pondo na kuhakikisha kwamba umepita na wananchi wa Pwani wasaidike na wafaidi ile mimea yao pale chini. Pia kuna mswada wa sukari ambao unakuja pale bunge, na mswada ambao kwa kauli moja pia tumekubaliana tutahakikisha kwamba huu mswada umepita ili wakulima wa sukari wafaidi na wafaidike katika kuna mswada pia wa kuhusu mambo ya maziwa ama milk regulations ambazo pia zinakuja bunge. Na tunawauliza sio wabunge sisi pekee, na wale ambao wako nje pia wahakikishe kwamba tumeshikana na kuungana na kuhakikisha kwamba Wakenya wamepata faida katika ile maziwa ambayo inatoka katika mashamba yao. Na wale wakulima wa miraa pia mswada wao ukikuja, sisi kama wabunge na viongozi ambao tuko hapa tumekubaliana kwa haraka tutapitisha haya mambo ili Wakenya wapate nafasi ya kufaidi mimea yao na pia kufaidi ukulima wao. Tunasema kwamba Kenya bado ni nchi ambayo inategemea ukulima, na sisi tutahakikisha kwamba tumewaunga mkono wakulima na wakulima wapate faida kubwa. Maanake wakulima wengi hapa Kenya bado ni mahasla, na tutawapatia nafasi kuhakikisha kwamba they have succeeded from their hustle. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
My responsibility here is going to be very brief, to take questions on behalf of these 139 members of parliament who are here. And for the record, the 23 who are not here and who endorsed the statement. Some came in the morning and went for other responsibilities. Others went for responsibilities in their counties, like the Mandera team, who have a security meeting at back home. And so the total of us were 162 who endorsed the statement, but it's only 139 who are available here for this statement here. We will take 4 questions, and then because this is a statement that has been endorsed by others, we don't want to deviate from the statement. So I'll take 4 questions, and those 4 questions should be relevant to the subject that we have raised here. Chemutai? 4. Another person, so that I count NTV, KTN, and Ebro. On behalf. Kama sijapik mtu mwingine mpatie maswali yenu yeye hawa waulize. Proceed. Where can hear. Volume.
Having moved to the assemblies, my question would have been to the Deputy President himself. What is your message to the county assemblies that are leaning towards you, the MCAs as they go to vote? Should they support it? Should they reject it, even as you continue to agitate for much for church finance?
Thank you. Second question.
Good afternoon, Majority.
Good afternoon. Karim.
My name is Kevin Murray.
Of course, we know you, Murray. Proceed. You seem to be popular behind here.
Now, on the question on the allegations that have been raised with regards to the attempts on all of you, and most likely, and also the Deputy President, probably if you're sharing the list as you've shared with authorities, we also want to share the people with us, because some of them are very grave and they will need some substantiation. Thank you.
On the security issues. Okay. Telephone.
My name is
Jeff Kirui, sorry.
Yes. My question is regarding Parliament is expected to resume tomorrow, and there are 2 bills which are actually crucial in this BBI exercise. That is the referendum bill by JYC and the referendum bill by the data. What exactly is your position on those 2 bills moving forward? What is your position now that you say that you're going to focus on bills that are relevant to the common knowledge?
The last one.
I'm Amber from Apple today. The question was directed to the President. Maybe it's about the security personnel, and they will never come out in public and think that your life is in danger. Really, I wish that you just tell the Kenyans whether indeed your life is in danger or not. And then also, as the Parliament resumes tomorrow, it is alleged that the
Okay, thank you. I will group these questions into three. There is the question of BBI, which Honorable Duale will respond. There is the question of security, generally for security, the two questions of security from Mureidi and Kayemba, and will be answered by Senator Susan. I'll leave Duale to be the last one. Wait, hold on, Senator, Leader Majority. Yeah, you'll be the last one. And then the question of impeachment will be answered by Linturi, and I'll start with that one. Linturi, please.
Yeah, let me say I'm really surprised to hear that there is that intention to impeach the deputy president. I'm saying I'm really surprised to hear that there is somebody who wants to bring an impeachment motion against the president. And if what I've been reading is something to go by, is a motion that is being brought by even a member from a party that I think is ANC, if I'm not wrong, if my memory serves me right. But I think the most important thing is, we want to say is let's not be so much speculative. That matter did not come as an agenda for discussion. I think the best thing to do, how to approach the matter is we'll have to wait. If there is anybody who wants to bring it, let him bring it on. And I think when it finds its way on the floor of the House, then the members of Parliament will deal with it as at that time. So for now, I don't think it's anything that really worries us as a caucus or as a team. Thank you.
On the question of security, I will request Honorable Alice Waume to respond.
Members of the press, I have been asked to answer the question on security. You know, we have said in the statement that the members' security, many members of Parliament have had their security withdrawn. That, of course, answers to the vulnerability of members if we are going for meetings without security. And we have called upon the relevant office of the IG to take into account and provide security as and when members of Parliament and even this team is having their political meetings or any other meetings elsewhere or within the country. We've also asked that the police to be sent, the security assigned to those meetings be designated and have the relevant uniform and their numbers properly identified for purposes of accountability. The last one is the names. You are asking for the names of the people who may have been assigned some of the duties. Obviously, we have, you know that if we were to give you the names, then we would be preempting the investigations, and the relevant officers have been given the necessary full details and information of those people, and we have also called for the disbandment of the unit. I think that has been answered, including the security of His Excellency the Deputy President. Once the security is not sufficient, I think you obviously can tell that then the issue is not tidy. Thank you very much.
I have two issues, or three issues to answer. One, let me help my brother Linturi on the matter of impeachment. An impeachment of a deputy president, from my experience as a former leader of majority, who was there when Amos Kimunya was impeached, who was there when Moses Wetangula was impeached, who was there when Minister Kaimenyi survived. I was there when the process of impeaching Anne Waiguru was there. It's not a birthday party. It's not a walk in the path. And you look at the person who is driving this. You go dissect Ayub Savula. And then you understand that the carrier of the matter doesn't deserve a comment. But let me tell you for free. Let me tell you for free. And I want to tell them and dare them. I want to dare them. Let them not discuss the impeachment of the deputy president in bars, in funerals, in the apartments of their girlfriends. Let them bring it to the floor of the House, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, when the House resumes. So we dare them, whether, here, we are telling them, all of them, the ODM, the ANC, the Wiper, the Kelewekes, please go sit somewhere, bring the impeachment. We are ready for you. On the issue of BBI, we said it's not our priority, it's not a priority for the country. We have said it that consensus is the route so that we don't have a divisive referendum that divides the country. But our competitors are the architects of ethnic mobilization, ethnic and regional balkanization. Their intention is to divide the country. And we are telling them, whether you bribe the MCS, whether you do it, ultimately, and that's why it's called a popular initiative, under Article 250, I think, 1 of the Constitution. It is popular initiative because it belongs to the people. It doesn't belong to IBC, it doesn't belong to the MCS, and we are saying, if worst come to the worst, give the people of Kenya their democratic right to choose from the menu, that the people of Northern Kenya can choose, the people of Mount Kenya can choose, the people of Nairobi can choose, the people of the Rift and Western and Nyanza can choose. Do not force people on an item that they have a constitutional right, which is called a popular initiative. I think the final question was on the bills before the House. There are two bills before the House on referendum law. One is with the COIC, chaired by Honorable Kioni, and the other one is with the JLAC, chaired by Honorable Muturi Kigano. The Speaker made a communication that ultimately he doesn't want to have two parallel bills. So when we go back, that is a function of the House Business Committee, that's a function of the committees. When those bills come to the floor of the House, as a group, we will make our position known both in the second reading and in the third reading, in both houses. And I want to make it also very, very clear that this BBI should not be proposed. The proponents are in a dark room. Take it to the people. Explain to the people. And I was very, very shocked. Very shocked. And I want to challenge him, the former Prime Minister, lying openly that if BBI passes, Turkana County will get 20 million. I want to challenge him. 20 billion. I want to challenge him. There's mathematics, I remember the little algebra I did when I was in school. And quadratic equation. Turkana in the formula in BBI. And I want them to challenge me, and I'm challenging them to a contest. Turkana, Marsabit, Isiolo, Tana River, Lamu, Samburu, Wajir, Mandera. If BBI passes, the Tharaka Nithi, they are the 8 counties that are losing. I'm challenging the ODM brigade led by the former Prime Minister. Don't lie to the people. At your age, you don't lie. No, at your age, no. At your age, you don't lie. And I want to thank the governor of Turkana. I want to challenge them. In that formula in BBI, if you do the mathematics, Mr. Odinga, if you do the mathematics, Turkana County now is getting 11 billion, Turkana County will get 9.8 billion. I'm not saying it. So you can see a whole proponent of BBI is lying to the people of Turkana. And the same thing, he wants to come to Mandera and lie. And if you go to these counties, in fact, the 2-3 worst counties that are losing over 2 billion is Isiolo, Lamu, and Tana River. Thank you very much. God bless you. The Deputy President, his spokespeople have spoken. His life is not his danger, he is well and good.
Tumemaliza.